What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video, we're going to be watching Kenny, a big-time Chicago Bulls fan, react to the Alex Caruso, Josh Giddey swap. Now, there's been some things on Twitter that basically, and I agree with it, think that the Thunder got the better part of this trade. You know, you're getting Alex Caruso, an all-world level defender, all added on to a team that finished first in the Western Conference Finals. And for the Bulls, I mean, Josh Giddey, maybe the Bulls are trying to like blow it up and go young. It's kind of what they need to do. But maybe could have added more picks, more depth. But maybe for the Chicago Bulls, they think Josh Giddey could be something special. And honestly, if you look at what Josh Giddey did in his first couple years in the league and just kind of like exclude last year, he's been extremely good. I'd be surprised as a Bulls fan if he liked this trade.
Hey, y'all. Yeah, let's talk about it. The Chicago Bulls traded Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey 1-for-1. The year is 2024. I didn't even know 1-for-1 deals even happened anymore, but here we are. First trade of the offseason for anybody is the Bulls doing something that's kind of insane. The Bulls have been determined to find a playmaker to replace Lonzo Ball. And remind you
that trade or that tweet was interesting from Woj. Like they wanted to find somebody to replace Lonzo Ball. Like, okay,
Lonzo Ball tech list still on the roster, but this does not bode well. I saw him dunk the other day, and Giddey, 21 comes with all-star potential. How many of us believe that?
I'm not gonna lie. I think he does. I genuinely think in the right system, Josh Giddey, with confidence, has all-star potential. Let me pull up some stats and read them to you guys, because I think a lot of people realize, like, obviously Josh Giddey basically was unplayable in the playoffs last year. But I just want to bring some up to you. And obviously the off-the-court issues are just another layer to this. But let's just go back a season ago. And Josh Giddey obviously is going to have to shoot better from three. There's no doubt about that. But a season ago, he averaged 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists as a 20-year-old in the NBA. Josh Giddey has all-star potential. He does. He absolutely does.
He comes to Chicago and actualize that potential.
I don't know if he'll get there, but he has that potential for sure.
Go hard on the Chicago Bulls. Let me tell you, OKC fans, if you have not been keeping up with Alex Caruso over the last couple of years, you're going to absolutely love him. A lot of people that you ask across basketball, the top defensive players in the league, Alex Caruso name comes up almost every single time.
He's one of them for sure.
He is that much of a force as a guard. He is all over the place. He's guarding, not like consistently, but he feels comfortable guarding so many different positions. Passing lanes, pickpockets, slide the feet, hustle, dive on the floor. I'm not a jersey guy. If you've been following my channel for some years, you've never really seen me pull up with a jersey unless I was memeing. I have an Alex Caruso jersey because over the last couple of years, he's one of the few people on the team that felt like he cared every single game.
I will say this about Alex Caruso. He's a winning player. There's some guys on the Chicago Bulls. I'll just say it. Zach LaVine. I don't know if Zach LaVine is a winning player. Alex Caruso is a winning player. 30 teams in the NBA, if you're trying to win, some of the teams that are trying to tank might not want Alex Caruso. But if you're a contending team, you want Alex Caruso on your team. You do.
And I love players like that. And they trade him away for goddamn Josh Giddey.
Okay, yes. But the Chicago Bulls need to start their rebuild. And I think for that part of it, again, I think they could have maybe gotten a lot more. I don't mind the Giddey fit. Yes, I think the Thunder won this trade, though.
I'm not mad at the fact that the Bulls haven't made trades over the last couple seasons. I mean, yes, I am. But that my major gripe with the Chicago Bulls front office is that they are so very poor at maximizing an asset. Not rumored. This is confirmed. That at the deadline this year, there are
2 first-rounders, right?
Multiple teams doing multiple first-round picks to try to get Alex Caruso on the team. One of the first-round picks ended up being top 10 in this year's draft. But the front office is like, no, Alex Caruso, we want you to stay on the team so we can finish 6th.
But I will say this. In a redraft this year, given what Josh Giddey has done in his career, where would he go? That would be my counter argument. Again, obviously, you don't get the benefit of another rookie deal. He's going to be in restricted free agency next year. We'll see what he signs for. But there are pros and cons to both sides of it. So again, like depending on what the Bulls' timeline is, how they feel about Josh Giddey, he could be worth more than a first-round top 10 pick.
16 and 18 and go to the play-in. We turned down multiple firsts for Caruso? We turned down a lottery first for Drummond, who's just going to walk in free agency anyway? What are we
I
doing?
get Kenny's point, though. Like, even with the Drummond, that makes no sense. And that's the thing, especially with somebody on an expiring deal. You've got to trade them for an asset. You have to.
What are we doing? We'd rather keep these dudes to be ass as a team than trade them when their value is all-time high. And the fact that this is a one-for-one deal blows my goddamn mind. The year is 2024. How many trades do we see? Where it's not a first,
yeah, a first, a second, yeah, something else.
Multiple seconds.
Another layer.
A fake first that turns into multiple seconds just to get the fan base to think that you got something for the future. OKC has a million firsts. We couldn't get their least valuable one.
It's a valid point.
Sam Presti has been notorious for trading players before they hit restricted free agency if he doesn't believe they're a part of their long-term future. And that's exactly what he did, because at the end of this year, Josh Giddey hits restricted free agency. So you're going to tell me, depending on what happens this year with Josh Giddey, we're going to be the team to pay him?
I think it depends, though. I think it depends, because let's say Josh Giddey runs the Bulls this year and is their primary guy. The Bulls are probably going to want him to be a part of their future. Josh Giddey is going to be, 22 years old next year? Again, I get Josh Giddey. I get the off-court issues. That's something that would scare me a little bit. But at his peak, I think Josh Giddey can be an all-star level type of player. I genuinely do.
Feels like every single time this has happened in recent Bulls history, we got the short end of the stick. We paid Zach LaVine because we didn't want him to walk, and now he's widely considered one of the worst contracts in basketball. Even though, Zachary, I'm still rooting for you, and I still believe you can hoop. Patrick Williams is restricted free agency. The Charlotte Hornets are probably going to offer that man $20+ million a year, and we have to make a decision what to do. It's just, they're just so poor at managing their assets that
And the one thing about draft picks is you get them on a rookie deal. That is so valuable if you can turn them into good picks. That's
I think my boy Rusty said this. I honestly do feel like, and I am the internet general manager. Part of my job is making fake trades on the goddamn PlayStation. But I firmly do believe that I would be able to manage this team better than what these guys have done over the last couple of years.
That's probably facts. The Bulls are a dumpster fire right now. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. They're a dumpster fire.
I honestly do believe that. Because Caruso would have been traded at the deadline. I didn't want to trade him, but it makes sense for the franchise. Drummond would have been traded. Are you serious?
Especially when you're not going to ever win a title with that team. Like, you're not. You might sneak into the 8-7 spots, but you're not going to do anything with that.
This is just... So what is our guard rotation now? It's Kobe White. It's Ayo Dosunmu. It's Josh Giddey. It's Javon Carter.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They got Kobe White as well, but I feel like Giddey and Kobe White could work good together. It's just a matter of DeRozan and LaVine. Where do they fit in the picture?
Lonzo Ball on the team. There's a million guards, and so I don't know if that means that they're potentially doing some other deals down the line. I don't know, but God, this is so frustrating. And we only talking about the hoops, man. Josh Giddey got played off the court over the last playoff series. With one of the games, he played like 12 total minutes, man. He could not hold his own. And again, he's 21 years old. Could he maximize that potential, that all-star potential? Maybe.
I mean, Kenny, the comeback to that the comeback to that would be this for me, okay? And I'm just gonna throw out some numbers to you. You guys don't have to like my numbers. You guys don't have to like my comparison. But I'm just gonna give you some statistics, okay? Luka Doncic. Okay, I'm just gonna give you some statistics. Luka Doncic. Rookie season shot 32% from three, similar to what Josh Giddey shot. Second year in the league, shot 31% from three. Okay, so at the age of 20, which is, I believe Josh Giddey's 21, but at the age of 20, Doncic shot 31% from three. So again, they were tougher shots. But confidence matters so much. Repetitions matter so much. I think Josh Giddey could pan out. Now, am I saying I love this trade? No. But am I saying that this is, in my opinion, the worst trade of all time? No. Because I'm probably higher on Giddey than a lot of people just because of what he did in his second year. Obviously, third year struggled on a contending team. But I get it. I think this is recency bias, though. And it's natural, but I do.
Maybe. How many people come to Chicago and maximize their all-star potential? Let's be real. This team has not done the best at getting people to play at their fullest potential.
I mean, okay, yeah, but then, okay, you're going to turn it into a draft pick. Let's say you have another Patrick Williams situation. Like, draft picks are draft picks, but unless you're getting like that top level player, or I like Patrick Williams, man. I would pay him anyways. It's just tough. Like, the problem with the Chicago Bulls is DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and Vucevic. That's the problem with the Bulls. It's not these pieces. It's not these role players. It's the big guns there in Chicago, man. It's those top three. Probably not even their top three players, but what should be.
Well, I can't say ever, because we do have the greatest player of all time on our team. But you get what I'm saying.
Didn't MJ have inflated stats? Anyways, we need to get to that eventually.
Chicago's not a place where people usually go to and start to play better. I'm just at a loss. Obviously, there's been a report that the Bulls have 15 different trade offers right now for Zach LaVine. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'm expecting to not like that trade.
And maybe they're trying to fit Giddey in with the Kobe White timeline. Now hear me out. Kobe White, Josh Giddey, Patrick Williams. Hear me out a second, okay? 3 guys that all could be all-star level players. And I'm, again, higher on Patrick Williams than a lot of people. But I think 3-4 years down the line, they got potential. Who doesn't fit that timeline? Vucevic, DeRozan, LaVine. Those are the guys they got to move. Again, I'm not for Chicago. I still think that the draft picks are probably more valuable or whatever. But I don't hate this trade. I want to see. I'm talking about for the Thunder side is they got Ludor, Alex Caruso, surrounded by a crazy good supporting cast. The Thunder are going to be so good.
And now we can talk about the other stuff. I have not been completely hip to all of the Josh Giddey stuff. Obviously, I've seen some of it. When it was first coming out earlier in the season, I read one article about it, and since then I haven't heard anything about it. So I don't know if that's all alleged or any of that has been proven. I don't really know.
Me neither. I'm with you, Kenny. Do I think there was probably something? Sure, but I can't accuse. I'm not in a position.
Based on the article that I read a couple months back, I am not a fan of the shit that he was doing.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm not in position.
Trying to tell me because he's on my team now that I have to root for that. Again, I don't know what's true and what's not. I don't know right now. I mean, now that he's on my team, I should probably dive into it, huh? I should really go and see every single article I can find on this Josh Giddey stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just disappointed, I guess. And I'm not even like, I can understand some people like, Kenny, you can't have it both ways. You can't tell them at the deadline to make some deals and they finally do some deals, you're mad at it. And I would say to that, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
I mean, because he's going to lose some value. That's the problem with a trade like this is you just waited too long to trade.
Alex Caruso is one of those dudes that I bet you there are other teams across basketball. The 76ers, the Bucks, the Warriors. I could go on and on. These are teams that are probably
everybody would want Caruso.
Alex Caruso stuff. He's one of the people that if he was available, many teams should have been called.
They were.
The Bulls are going to do this thing. And here's my prediction. Here's my prediction. I don't know what's right or what's wrong. You think about trading a 30-year-old guard and Alex Caruso for a 21-year-old guard and Josh Giddey. That in your mind, you think that, okay, that means they're about to take a step to the rebuild. My prediction is they're about to try to teeter. They're going to have some young players.
See, that's what you can't do. You got to fit the Kobe White timeline. You got to fit the Patrick Williams timeline. You got to fit the Josh Giddey timeline, not the DeRozan Vucevic timeline. Simple.
Rose is coming back. We're going to trade for Harrison Barnes, and he's going to be on the team.
No.
We're going to try to balance these things out. In reality, that's not the way you do it, and we're going to end up being a slightly below 500 team again.
That's not what needs to happen. That's not what needs to happen.
Game above 500 team again. And then they going to come to the press at the end of the season be like, well, this is not what we wanted to do. The Bulls...
The media, you do not want to be in the middle of the NBA. You don't, okay? You either want to be good or you want to be bad. You do not want to be in the middle of the NBA. You do not want to be a team like the Chicago Bulls right now. You just don't.
Bottom 5 in three-point frequency this season. Bottom 5. The year is 2024. The team that just won a championship shot the most three-pointers in NBA history. That is the way you win basketball games nowadays. And what do? We trade for one of the worst shooting guards in basketball. Huh?
Okay, but he's young. He's young. All young guards coming into the league normally struggle with their shot. That's my thing. Like, you look at a lot of the guards, even Ant's consistency has gotten way better with time. It's natural. Especially with everything Josh Giddey, like, again, whether it was his fault or not his fault, dealt with a lot of things off the court. Again, have your own opinions on that. But that plays a factor as well. I'm not that opposed to this Josh Giddey trade as a whole for the Bulls if they continue to go young.
What? Kobe White just had a career year where he was a runner-up to most improved player, and that was with him being the point guard. We move him over to the off guard again? We didn't like what we saw?
I mean, here's what I would say to that, okay? Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, for example. Obviously, they're not the same level. You can have two somewhat primary ball handlers that coexist. Kyrie technically played the 2 this year. That could be like a Kobe White type situation, in my opinion.
Josh Giddey, again, if you're going to maximize
That's
Josh
fine.
Giddey, that man needs to have the ball.
Josh Giddey needs to be the point guard, though, for sure.
Not a threat otherwise. So Josh Giddey's going to do his thing, and Kobe White's just going to be off guard again. All right.
Josh Giddey will get Kobe involved.
I mean, yeah, go score.
The problem is you can't have Levine and DeRozan on the court. No, like you can't do that. You can't do that.
Cole, I just don't know, man. I'm sure there's so many different things I could say. I don't know. I'm gonna mix.
But I do like this trade for the Thunder more, and that's where I'm thinking, okay, the Bulls should have maybe gotten another pick or two, like whatever. But I'm just saying because I think the Thunder benefited more than the Bulls. Does that make sense? I don't mind the trade for both sides, but I think the Thunder benefited more.
Caruso, and the cool thing about this, and this is something I've said before, that I continue to root for players that get traded away from my team if I like them. So like, I will be rooting for Alex Caruso, especially since he's in the opposing conference. So OKC fans, you got me somewhat.
Nah, Kenny, you can't be a bandwagon now.
See Caruso.
No.
Caruso's one of those dudes, man. I'm telling you, he's one of those dudes that you don't want to give up unless you're getting something that you feel really, really good about.
I agree with that. I agree. But he is on an expiring and unrestricted free agency, which, again, it's better that they got something. But again, even at this trade deadline, he would have been so valuable.
Getting all-star potential. If we had what do you think the odds are on Josh Giddey becoming an all-star one day?
You want my honest answer? Pretty good. That's my honest answer. Pretty good. I put it over 50%. And you can say whatever you want about me and, oh, Ty, you don't know ball. Look, he's 21, 22 years old. Last year was so good. That's what I put it at.
What do we think the odds are? Hey, I'm going to go through all of the different stages of grief. I'm going to go through all the different stages of grief. Let me look at one thing before I get out of here.
Because I think Josh Giddey will be good one.
Let's go see. Because if I'm not mistaken, you remember they had that little stretch where he was playing pretty solid basketball. When was that? This one. Boom. All right. Let me see. Yeah, here's the game. He had 25, 9, and 4. Ooh, am I convincing myself? No, I'm not. But I think I remember one of these games, Shea didn't play. It's this game. His 31-point game. So the Bulls are like, hey, he scored 31 when he was the
didn't make a 3, by the way.
Primary ball handler when his usage rate was really high. So if we give him the ball and say, Josh Giddey, go cook, then maybe he can average what he averaged last season. Last year he averaged 12. Maybe one day he can average 18, 19 again.
That's what he did the year before, man.
Not again, his career highs. All right, man. I'm out of here.
Look, I'll say it like this. Shout out to Kenny for the video. I'll say it like this. I think the Thunder got the better side, but I don't hate it for the Bulls. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.